Hey guys, what's going on? So today I'm actually going to do a new review, which I haven't really done for a while when you think about it. I've mainly been talking about services that I'm helping manage, like the SPY ATM alerts or IWM alerts. And so I thought it was about time to start actually talking about a new product, which I've been testing out for the last week or two. And I really love it. It's called Overnight Pop Trades by NetPicks. Now, I didn't know a lot about NetPicks until recently. They've been around for about 30 years, so it makes them one of the oldest companies to do these types of stock trading educational alerts. So, this is my review on it. It's a work in progress. I'll leave a link in the description so you can go through it as I update it, as I take more trades, and you can really start to see what this is all about. So this review is kind of, think about it as part one. I'll try and do a little bit more, part two, part three, part four, as more and more trades come in. Also, I'm going to show you the track record that they have. It's really impressive, and what the types of trades they do. And I think you'll really like this. It's run by a guy called Mike, and I think I'm saying this right. Rikesy, Rikesy or Risky. I'll just call him Mike, right? This is going to be easier. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that. Right? Rikes? Mike Rikes? Anyway, so I looked into him a little bit and put a lot of details about what I found about him in this full review article, which you'll find again in the description below. Before we get into it all, the first thing that you would like to do, I think, is to get a copy of their Zero DTE Options Trading Secrets ebook. It's free to download, and it's got a lot of good stuff inside it and the trading workshop that they do. Completely free. There is an offer for the service inside the uh, the webinar that they do, and so you might want to check that out if you're interested. This is not an expensive service. It's only $9.97, and for what you get, I think it's actually really good value, given the expertise of the person involved, the chat room that you get, the track record, and everything like that. Now, this is something you might want to consider if you have a small margin account. So these trades are overnight trades, hence the name overnight pop trades. So the idea is that you're not going to be using the PDT rules, so you don't have to worry about day trades. And so it's a really simple concept. Basically, you enter a trade about 10 minutes before market closes, and then the next morning you close that trade, hopefully for a profit, which they do most of the time, as you'll see as I go through the review. So let's see what I put in here so far. So this is what I'm talking about right here. What is it? It's basically an options trading system developed by Mike and his team at NetPicks. And it's basically used to capitalize on the overnight market movements, which are often quite significant. So there's various different approaches here, and I'll show you inside the actual dashboard and inside the Slack group in just a few minutes. So keep watching as I go through some of the more boring stuff here. So what assets does it use? Well, it looks at things like Apple, Tesla, SPY, the Qs, and other larger cap stocks and indices in order to take these trades. Now, they're very simple trades, but they are spread trades. So if you're not into spread trading, this might not be for you. But it's very simple and they make the alerts very clear and easy to follow. The cool thing is they do alerts via text, email, or instant message via clear instructions. And I'll show you some examples of those of recent trades in a few minutes. The trades are executed in the afternoon, like I said. Only takes a few minutes to do them. Like you said, you overnight hold them. Make sure you get the free download. Definitely worth checking out. You'll learn more from it probably than you will from my high level overview of the service. And so, like I said, I'm going to show you the actual alerts here so you can see what you get told and also what you can learn from the service, which is just as important, right? You've got to learn how these things are done as well as just copying an alert, although I know 90% of traders just want to copy the alerts. So here's some information on Mike. So he's been trading for a while. He started his journey in 2002, 23 years ago. So he's doing a finance degree in college. During one of his early business classes, he quickly recognized the tremendous wealth building potential of the stock market. Right, yeah, sometimes it's more valuable than going to college, right? Where you pay hundreds of thousands of dollars these days, and you really aren't guaranteed any sort of return on that for a long, long time. The ROI in some college degrees, not all of them, but some, is not that great. Anyway, rather than waiting to graduate to start earning, he dove into the world of options trading, drawn by the leverage it offered. Early success fueled his decision to transition into full-time trading, learned several lessons the hard way. A moment came during a visit to the trading floor at the Chicago Board Options Exchange with SIBO, when he realized the necessity of discipline, rules-based trading. This is him right here. So in 2006, he discovered the NetPicks trading system and immediately became a customer. So this is kind of cool. The NetPicks guys took their successful student and made him a teacher, which I've seen other programs do before. But it's always good because they can relate more to the other subscribers, and basically they can vet the person is doing very well, very well. I know Raging Bull did that with Cal Dennis and Nate Bear. Anyway, the structured approach, complete with predefined entries, targets, and stop loss levels, provided the consistency his trading had previously lacked, leading to over a decade of sustained account growth. Decade of sustained growth. So he started to do day trade bond, US future stuff, but it was basically too crazy. So he switched to being basically the lead options instructor in 2009. Over the years, he's taught thousands of traders, developed a proprietary option trading strategy now used by more than 2,100 traders across 10 countries. In 2018, Mike was named vice president of NetPicks. I didn't know he was the vice president. I knew he was high up there, but I didn't know he was the vice president. So that's pretty interesting. He's actually in the Slack channel and actually does talk to people and give advice and kind of help people out, which is pretty good if he's a vice president. He's pretty good. So here are the key features before we dive into the actual system and look at alerts and track record. Key features are predictable schedule. People love that. They want consistent times each day to get into a trade. That's why I've been doing things like IWM alerts that you've seen me talk about and the other systems like Spy ATM, which are at consistent times because nobody wants to sit at their computer and randomly get alerts out of nowhere. The real focus these days, at least in my sphere, are going towards times that you can get in, to put that time aside, takes a few minutes and bang, make your profits overnight. Low capital requirement, so you don't need a lot of money, just a few $100s to make this, um, make these trades. The success rate is high, like most spreads. Over 600 live trades is an 80% win rate, which is really good. Now they call them zero DTE options, and I've seen other places do this. These are one DT options in my mind because you're entering the day before the options expire, so they expire the next day. So for some reason, these guys, the guys at Monument Traders Alliance, Brian Bottarelli, people call these zero DTE options. In my head, they're one DTE options, but maybe it's just being a bit picky. So new traders, people with small accounts, all very good. So basically, they're vertical spreads that you do, and I'll show you a bunch of examples on these, including some real alerts that just happened this week. Depending on market conditions, the servers may also recommend buying outright call or put options to take advantage. Let's look through the track record and see if they've actually done that. I haven't seen any of those yet, but I've only been a member for a short period of time. Maybe that's something I'll update as we go on with this review. So afternoon entry, 345, 350. Overnight hold, so you're just holding it overnight, which again could be good or it could be scary. Some people don't like doing that. It's not for everybody. Like I said, the target assets Apple, Tesla, SPY, Qs, IWM, 80% win rate, capital requirement, time commitment, same sort of stuff. All right, so this is where I get into the track record. Now, you're not going to be able to read this. It's absolutely ludicrous. So what I'm going to do is log into my login and try and show you a zoomed in version of the track record. It's really good. They've kept the biggest track record I've ever seen all the way back to 2020, every trade, which is absolutely astounding to me. Most people don't keep that vigorous of a track record. So that's definitely a plus for these guys, that's for sure. So this is just a small snapshot. They also have 4.7 stars on Trustpilot, 4.8 on Endorsal, which I'm not really sure what that is, but from 164 verified students. So they have a lot of social proof as well as a good track record. So let's go into the system and actually look at the product itself right here. So this is the Overnight Pop Trades dashboard. This is about Mike on the right here. The first thing you see is Welcome to Overnight Pop Trades. Gives you an overview roughly of what I've just been talking about. Teaches you how to set up the text alerts, setup instructions, how to set up the email trade alerts, and the option broker recommendations, Slack setup. So I've also got Slack open here that we're going to go through in a few minutes as well from this. So here are the trade alerts, here are the position sheets, and then there's a bunch of trading videos, which is really good. So you can learn how to do some of these and all sorts of interesting stuff, webinar recordings, position size, which is super important. So there's options trading. This is extensive. So if you have no idea what a vertical spread is or even what an option is, you can learn it from this really in-depth course. So there's a lot of teaching in here, and Mike is always doing new videos. So you can see this is the latest recap video of the most recent trade. There wasn't actually a trade yesterday, and you'll see that he sometimes decides that it's too risky with the NVDA earnings. It was too risky to have a trade, so he missed out. So this was the last trade right here. So he often posts training videos. Not that there wasn't trades in between these two, it's just sometimes he'll post training videos, which is very helpful for people and does add a degree of credibility to the whole thing. Anyway, let's look at the trade alerts first, and then we'll look at the actual track record. So here's the trade alerts. So we open this up. So give you an idea of what you get. So you get this via email, and it's posted on here as well. You also get a shortened version on text, although I'm not signed up for that, so I'm not exactly sure what you get with that. But you can kind of see here how he said on May 29th that there's no new OPT trades today. We continue to deal with the gap situation this week that we had another big move higher at open this morning after NVDA released their earnings. So we remain in a noisy pattern with very little follow through in these moves. So blah blah blah, inflation, blah blah blah. SPY did get down to test the first support level, blah blah blah. On the upside, we continue to look at resistance levels, blah blah blah. Volume is coming in 50 million shares. So he goes through his thought process quite in depth about why he's not taking a trade. He doesn't go, oh, I'm not taking a trade. So let me show you an actual trade though. So before that happened, I actually did post it into my NetPicks overnight pop trades review right here. So we scroll down. Here we go. So I got this email just the other day, 5 or 10 minutes before the market closed. And this is what it said. Hi Russell, OPT opening trade, sell to open SPY 28 May, so 0 DTE or 1 DTE. 588, 586 put credit spread for 0.45 or higher. So very easy to do. It takes about 10 minutes to learn how to do this, and they teach you inside the thing, or you just Google how to do it. Very easy. This trade is put on by selling to open the 588 put and buying to open the 586 put at the same time. That line right there tells you what to do, right? It's not rocket science. I used to think these trades were complicated, but they really aren't. Anyway, these options have 1 day left to expiration, so they should be called 1 DTE, not 0 DTE. This is a neutral to bullish trade going into Wednesday's expiration. We're looking for SPY to trade above 588. Keep in mind, SPY options close at 4:15, so 15 minutes after market open. So we do have an extra 15 minutes to get into trade if needed. We'll be targeting between 50 to 75% of the max profit potential in this trade. And I'm going to show you what happened on this trade inside the Slack where the members are able to post their profits and things as well. And I think it was a winner. For example, if we sell the spread to open the trade for 0.5, then our target zone would be when we buy the spread back close to 0.25. Makes sense? We'll look to close this trade out during the first half of the day on Wednesday. We'll be tracking this trade with a position size of 3 spreads. This will keep a risk below 500 of the trade. So you get a very detailed, easy to understand system here. And then the very next day, and I'll probably try and show you the times on this. It's not exactly a market open. It can be a little bit after that. OPT closing trade, got this alert buy to close these 58, 58, 586 put credit spread, looking to get filled at 0.28 or lower, which leaves us with a profit on the trade. So this was actually a winning trade, and so let's go and look at the system here. So this is really cool. So they give you basically the ability to join their Slack group. And so they post the Slack trades here. So if you have push notifications, you can get it through Slack as well. So they basically have the same information I showed you in here. And this is Mike. So he can post in this channel because it's just the alerts. See what pop trades doesn't say anything. So these are the messages from him. So I'm just kind of scrolling up here a little bit to see if there's anything interesting. Sometimes Slack's a bit slow to load. Don't think people are supposed to comment in here because there is a general channel where they all comment right here. So here's a guy. So I think this was the trade I was talking about. Might not be. I might be getting mixed up. Anyway, closed out. Nice trade. 62.5%. Out 0.25%. I think that's probably right. That's the trade, right, from the 27th to the 28th, right? And then the 29th, there was no trade. So this is the next morning. This is in Central Time. So this would have been like 15 minutes after market opened, closing out the trades here. So Mike says already out at 50% target level. I don't know what this guy's talking about. Um, so that was the trade that I just kind of showed you in my review there. And so you can see people posting, and this is always good. There's people that ask questions in here, and you can kind of see what people are saying. Spy out 0.64. Have a great long weekend, everyone. And just don't leave just yet because I've still got the track record to go through, which is probably pretty interesting for a lot of you guys. I just want to show you everything involved with the service. This is a bit of a longer video than I'm used to doing. I posted a recap video on the owner's site that takes a lot of the trade from yesterday. We closed out for a loss earlier in the session. Here's a link to the video. So this guy's not hiding his losses. He's doing videos on his losses. So that's good to see as well. Adds more credibility to the whole system. So kind of go through here. So they had a really long stretch of winning. It was a really fun stretch. Tough to have that streak broken down due to the tariff headlines. So yeah, they had a long win streak by the sounds of it. And we'll look at how long that actually was in just a little bit here. So yeah, so you can talk to other members. Most of it seems to be people posting what they're getting filled at and things like that. And these are links to the recaps that Mike posts. Anyway, one of the most important things with these systems is looking at the track record. And by now, a lot of you guys that are probably watching the video at the start probably have left, so you're going to miss out on the actual juicy stuff, unfortunately. If you ever come back to watch this video. Let's look at the, let's see here. Let me get back. I think we want to hit the back button. All right, so position sheets. You'll find the position sheet downloads on the right side. We have a PDF version. Now I found the PDF version is the only one that actually works. So these are the positions. I've already downloaded it. I guess I can just open it. Here we go. All right, so first time I looked at this, I was like, wow, this is terrible. This is not a track record. It's completely empty. Until I realized you can scroll down and the track record really starts and goes on and 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 on. And I'll zoom in so you guys can actually read some of this. But basically down the bottom here is the most recent trade. So let's zoom in and see if we can get some more useful information from this. Hit the page down button here. All right, so you can see on the left here, Spy and Qs have been pretty popular. There's more Spies, IWM occasionally, but mainly Spy. So you can spy, Qs. So you can see like Spy is really popular, which is cool. Let's see. So these are the dates. So they haven't updated the last couple of trades, last one trade, which was a winner right here. They have the date of the entry and the date of the exit. So obviously it's one day. So you hold it overnight. And they have the type of spread it was, whether it was a short put spread or short call spread. And then they have the actual like trade here. And just scroll over, they have the entry price and the exit price. So this was a 50% winner. With the whatever they're using is the token amount in the portfolio that comes to $150 profit. Like that. And then these two columns are the profits overall and the win percent of the trades. And with $1,000 risk per trade, 21,000, 2,500 risk per trade, 52,000. So it is a profitable strategy for sure. And that's over 5 whole years through thick and thin, right? From the pandemic all the way till now. And you can see all this green. So they had a winning streak of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Over 30 wins with 2 losses and then another win streak. And then some losses. The Reds obviously are the losses going through here. Now, these guys are not giving back all the wins, right? So with these types of spread trades, that's always the biggest fear is people will take a loss and it'll give back weeks of gains. But if you look here, they gave back 91% on this trade, but if you kept the position size the same, that was more than made up for in this stretch here. And then again, they gave back 97%. But then you get these long green streaks that just completely just completely wipe out all the losses. So pretty interesting. You can see the red. So this is going back. Let's look at the dates on the left here. This is back in 2023 already. So you scroll up. Still SPY seems to be their main thing. SPY and the Qs. Now, one thing I did want to check for, and I haven't seen it yet, is do they do any just non-spread? So looks like back in 2020 they were also doing iron condors more. I'm looking down this column right here, so I'll zoom in a bit and see if they actually ever do just one directional call or put without actually having the spreads. And there's one right there. So they did the 292 puts. So it looks like they do occasionally just do, very occasionally, they just do a directional trade with a call or a put. I've not seen many at all here. There's so much data, it's hard to go through. Nope, still spreads. So it looks like if you're buying this for just buying calls or puts, I wouldn't do it. But if you're looking for a good spread trading program, this one looks pretty good. I really like the transparency of it. I like the fact that they give full track record. I like the fact that they give really clear alerts and they have very transparent, open chat here where you can talk to Mike himself, which is cool. And people like other subscribers are giving their fills and what they're doing and things. So it's pretty good. So overall, I really like this system. I think it's really worthwhile for 997. Seems like it's worth it to me. And so that's what I've kind of said in my conclusions here, that if you're a busy trader looking for a simple overnight trade, this could be something worth checking out, that's for sure. I think it's got a proven strategy, and it's a rules-based system, and it capitalizes on the overnight price movements using spreads. So this is something definitely worth checking out. The cool thing is there is a free webinar and book about this, so that's what I'd recommend you do. What I'll do is I'll leave a link to this article because I'll probably put the next few trades. I'll do a few videos on the next few trades to kind of give you more idea on what's going on, and then also update this review as I learn a bit more about the system and things as well. Because remember, I'm fairly new to this, as well. But honestly, you don't need to be a member for years to actually understand what's going on here. You can watch a few alerts and be like, okay, he's telling the truth. So this actually does work. So definitely check this out if you're interested in holding trades overnight, and keep tuned for any more updates on this. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this review. I'll talk to you guys soon.